G'day from Handshake Australia, where your dot is as unique as our backyard. Why stick with old school domains when you can leap into the future? .kangaroo, .australian flag, and .australia are bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 naming. And as a bonus, there's .New Zealand too. So where do you place your dot? Make it Aussie, make it yours. Know more about Handshake domains on hns.au. Have a good one.
I'm just gonna start. In case you don't know me, I just like building things on Handshake. You might have seen some of the things I've built. So I just wanted to share a bit on what I've been up to the past few years, actually. The first thing I want to do is just maybe change the title because we'll get to the change in a bit. But let's just call it Handshake and Trust right now. A bit of background first. There are mainly pieces of software that the Handshake network runs on. You've probably heard of it. The first is HSD, which is like this all-in-one package that does everything. It's written in JavaScript and it can run in different types of modes, like the full node, which verifies everything, stores everything. Then there's the SPV type, which is like a lighter version, which only verifies proof of work and a few other things, but it doesn't store everything. And HSD also runs a DNS resolver, which lets you browse and access Handshake domain websites. It also provides access to the blockchain data in case you want to read something off of it. It lets you participate in auctions, handle wallets, spend, and it's everywhere. Anything you use in Handshake is probably using HSD or is talking to something which uses HSD. That includes Bob Wallet or any of the platforms that you use, like the other official piece. Now, this is a lifeline. And all it does is resolve names. It's written in C. It's meant to run on embedded systems where you can't really run full nodes. And I think Buffer got it working on an iPhone, which, so all it does is name resolution. It doesn't store anything. It doesn't let you control wallets or read anything off it. It's used by resolvers like Fingertip, both the original Fingertip and the new status chain. It's also included in Sentinel DVPN nodes. I think we had a talk earlier. So both of them are fully decentralized. They don't connect to any central API or anything. They talk to peers that they discover and they just gossip all the info that they have. And these two projects have kept Handshake alive for, but they do have a few quirks. Like with SNSD, it hardcodes the complete ICANN root zone with all of the 1500 top level domains. That's like 30,000. And these records aren't meant to change frequently, but they do change. And when they change, SNSD will need to be updated with the new records. And you might have noticed that a few domains don't resolve right now, especially under the .ntld, and that's because of this. Nathan has a PR for this to update it, and Fernando, I think, has a job that runs automatically, but that doesn't solve the root cause. It also cannot be configured to point to a custom resolver. Suppose you don't want to do the full recursive queries on your own. You'd be fine with trusting a public resolver there or Google. This doesn't let you do it. You can't point this to your own pi hole that's running in your network. And this is something that doesn't matter right now, but with ICANN launching new top level domains, GTLDs, soon, I think users would want to wait to pick ICANN over heterogeneous theories. And yeah, there are other issues like it not behaving the same way on all platforms. Like this came up when status chain was being developed, that to read the progress of sync, we'd have to query it over DNS, but that wouldn't be available until the sync was complete. So you'd never get a percentage status anywhere because of this on Windows. And yeah, it is written in C. It can have leaks and segfaults. There are issues on GitHub, and everything's just and it's harder to add new features. So because of all these reasons, I have been working on rewrite of HNSD, and let's just call it RNSD for now. It fits right in where HNSD did. It does all of the same functions. It's a light client. It's fully decentralized. It talks to other peers. It provides a DNS resolver. It also saves checkpoints like HNSD does, except for a few things. So instead of hardcoding the 30,000 records from the root zone, it just has hints. This is how standard resolvers are supposed to function. Yeah, so now we just store 13 records and that's enough. It's also slightly more customizable. It lets you set upstreams. So in this case, it's set to Cloudflare, that's 1111. And you get faster responses, but that choice is still up to you. It also lets you pick how you want domains resolved. There are 4 modes where you can say you only care about handshake domains. And as soon as it touches any of the ICANN domains, it just breaks. So for the people who need it, it's there. But usually people would prefer ICANN. And that's the default. It's also easier to integrate as a library compared to HTTP at least. It's available as a package with docs and with nested levels of errors from different peers, from disk errors to most of these can be added to HNSD, but it's usually harder with C. You also need to keep track of things like leaks and yeah, it's just C. And yeah, not even the person suggested, someone opened this issue in 2019. That's before mainnet of Handshake. So now back to the title that I changed. We have RNSD, which is a Rust code. It's a light client, it functions like it. But there's also RSD now, which is a port of the full all-in-one package of it's still a work in progress, but the aim is to get it to parity with. And there are other packages that are related, like the Urkel tree, which stores all of the name info, is a library in C. But instead of rewriting this, we just bind to it. So that, yeah. So RNSD is based on RSD. The code in the RNSD project is less than 1K lines, 900 lines of code. That's it. And it will get less as pieces move into RSD. So this shows that RSD is modular and you can build your own parts of Handshake based on. So when you're sharing codes between projects like RNSD, it's easier to maintain. Bugs in common cases, I'd say, once like with HND and HSD, they're in completely different languages. And the way you architect code isn't the same in C and JavaScript. So it just makes things easier when it's the same language. So as of now, there's RNSD, which works. It can resolve names. There's RSD, which is making progress. It has the basic things enough to make RNSD work. I'm copying all of that from HSD to make sure that nothing takes or it's not, it doesn't deviate. But still, it's not production ready. I think this question is going to come up especially from BCP and the other. Yeah, so it's explicit. I think we've talked about this a few times in chats, but there's better tooling. You have everything for testing, for building, for running. Yeah, especially compared to C. It can also build for more environments compared to Go. It can, especially for embedded devices, it just makes sense. And there are projects like Atomic Text, which we have looked into, and they are written in Rust. Most blockchain projects are in Rust, and having the same primitives be useful, and it just makes it easier to support Handshake, to ask for the Handshake. And also, I just like language. And there are a few concerns. So when Bitcoin, that's the Bitcoin node that JJ wrote and was later for. So when Bitcoin was a bit, it's not just Bitcoin, it was with the other implementations too. Yeah, so not all the reasons were serious, but there were a few good points that they made. One of it was that a single shared code is just balanced and safer. But the thing is, it becomes a single point of behave differently against each other. It just means more bugs. But the thing is that the bugs usually take down one client and just not the whole network. Then it does divide resources with devs in general. And this is the first alternate implementation. We have CDNS, Bitcoin, yeah, and I think I've heard a few from the others. So they're still not stable. But if you are interested, you can try running it and find ways to take it. You can help develop RSD or just report issues. Also, I think the name RSD is taken, so and all of this will be public and
Hello.
hello.
Everybody hear me? Hey, Ritvik, thanks for the great presentation. Yes, we have some questions, but have about a minute left before we start the next session. I'm also going to send you over these questions to respond to after the event. Right, sorry about the roosters. It's 3:30 on my end. Okay, if you can see the questions, yeah, so it says here we can answer some. So how long did it take you to port this to Rust? Super impressive, by the way.
And every time I come back, it gets easier because I'm not available. Yeah, it's been a few years on and off.
Okay, all right. Do you like the vibe code? Vibe code. What do you think about the state of vibe coding in critical infra, like when working on HNSD? Do you think Claude Code has made it easier for anyone to improve HNSD?
Yeah, you could make it like test cases and then make sure the test files. It doesn't have to be purely like so. It just depends on how it's used.
Okay, and not everyone is on vibe coding yet, but yeah, if you do, if you start working on that one, yeah, it would be cool if you could share. Of course, we're gonna bother you about it if you for any developments. Yeah. All right. So I guess we're gonna end the questions for now. Where can they reach you, Ritvik?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Thanks for coming on, Ritvik, and Tilly for you too. And okay, glad to have you back on stage, and yeah, hope to have more of you this year. Okay. Thank you guys, and thank you, Ritvik. All right, we're going to the next session. It's a Tollgate.me presentation.
The 6th Handshake Conference, HandyCon White, Building the Sovereign Internet, wouldn't be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. Our platinum sponsors, Easy Domains, ShakeStation, Handshake Swap. Our gold sponsors, USwap. Our community sponsors, Handshake AU, Own the Dot, Namebase, GFAV IP Wallet. Powered by Sky Include. Thank you for believing in a decentralized future and empowering this community. Get your free ticket now at 2026.handycon.xyz